Hey there, this is me again, and I just kind of want to put up kind of an entertaining video because, it says I touch on it a little bit in my other, YouTube videos because, me being a spiritual medium, um, I kind of wanted to let you viewers know what sort of history that I had growing up, like, and what my faiths are and my view on religion. Basically, up until the time that I was 18, and then I left home for college about a month after I graduated high school. I was 18 and I moved out of state and everything. That's kind of the reason that I just got busy with other things. And that was mainly the reason that I stopped going to church. But growing up until that point, I usually went to church 2, 3 times a week. Um, and then Part of the reason, though, that I stopped going to church is because I had a bad experience with my aunt. She's probably about 75. She's in her 70s. So this is my aunt. She has Mars in her ninth house, and that's a placement of people that can be religious extremists. And she's like an over-the-top, absolute, ridiculous person. And I'm absolutely not saying, like I said, I was raised Christian, so I wouldn't say that all Christians are like that. 99% of Christians are really nice people, and I've had nothing but love for the church. Like, going to church, I had really good experiences. But I'm just telling you, this is more about my aunt. This video is more about my aunt, and I'm telling you my upbringing as far as religion. So basically, my mom's sister, she has over-the-top religious views. And so on this video, I'm just going to kind of tell you about some of the weird things that she told me when she was in college, or when I was in college. So for the one thing that really irritates me is that my aunt is very much abstinence only. She doesn't believe in birth control, stuff like that. And she'll just like absolutely tell me just really ridiculous stories. Like, she tries to twist facts around and stuff like that, and she just doesn't. She's like anti-sex. So one situation is the other thing that I should let you know is that her grandson, so that's my cousin, so her daughter has a son that's 2 months older, because I was born on Valentine's Day of 1989, and my cousin, he was born on Thanksgiving of 1988. So her grandson, I'll just give you a background, he's never been married, he's never had a job, and he has 7 kids by 4 different women, right? So it kind of sounds like he's listening to my aunt's abstinence only campaign. She's completely against birth control, and obviously that didn't turn out very well. So her whole big thing is that she basically doesn't want people to be having sex. And one incident that happened is that at my grandma's funeral, well, not at the funeral, but before the funeral, when we all met, it was me and my aunt and somebody else, I don't remember who. But anyway, we were all together as a group and everything, and we were sitting at the kitchen table, and in front of a group, I said, "Oh, how's your grandson doing?" I was asking about my cousin, the one with all the kids. And he had like 5 kids at this time, and so this is probably like early 2015. Yeah, it must have been early 2000. Must have been like January of 2015. And so I asked my aunt, how my cousin was doing. So that's her grandson. So that's my cousin. And she goes, "Oh, well, he's okay, but his girlfriend's pregnant again. And I said, oh my gosh, she is, and I was shocked, of course, because by this time he has like 5 kids, whatever. I don't even know how many kids he had back in 2012 or 2015. And I was like, oh, and then she like looks at me and she goes, well, when you have sex, you're gonna have a baby. And then I said, no, not unless you use birth control. And then there was another incident that happened, I think when my cousin had like his first kid or his third kid or like one of his first, couple kids or whatever. He was unmarried and neither of them were working and everything. Neither he or his girlfriend were working. And she's like, and we were probably like 19, 20 or whatever, and he was unemployed. And I am like, I have my own place. I'm like working full time, whatever. And I asked my aunt and she goes, because again, I asked about my cousin. And she goes, well, he's having a baby and everything. And then, anyway, I said, and then she said, I said something, and then she says, I said, oh, wow. And then she goes, oh, well, that's what happens when they fool around. Their parents tried to warn them. And she'll just, like, say all this, like, baloney just to, get me to stop having sex. And I don't really know what her deal is or anything like that. And then the other thing that is kind of weird and it's a lot less bothersome. It's not really that I don't really care. I don't really have an opinion about it, but her husband's like 85 and all he does is send these packets of, really over the top religious material in the mail so everybody can become a Christian. And the one thing that I don't like about that though is that it's like basically the same material. He's been basically making these same packets for the last 20 years and he'll tweak like a couple of little words in it and it's just like basically all the same thing. And I get it every month. There's a big packet. I get it every month. Basically every immediate family member gets this stuff every month and it's just the same. And so I just throw it in the trash. I personally don't really have an opinion about that. I'm neutral. I don't really care. It doesn't really catch my attention either way. But the only thing that I kind of do not like is my aunt that's just so over the top religious and just to treat people like trash because they want to, make love with somebody. Anyway, she will, just say stuff that's obviously not true. And then the other thing that I didn't like, and actually my friends and I were kind of like laughing about it, is that when I moved in with my boyfriend, my aunt told me to stop taking my birth control, and my friends, oh no, actually, well, that's not the exact words she used, but I got on birth control and my aunt goes, that doesn't work.